Good afternoon and welcome back to Adventures for Anyone. Today I'm going to give you some travel tips on why I take mass transit sometimes when I go out. Now this is my normal view here heading out from Waterbury, but on this particular day I was headed out to go to Long Island and over to Fire Island because I'd always wanted to see their beautiful lighthouse. What I did was I caught a bus where I live in Torrington, Connecticut that took me down to the train station at Waterbury, and it got me on my way. So I took the train into the city via the New Haven line. It was a beautiful ride that day, and I always enjoy the ride. Then I always enjoy my time at Grand Central Station. They have lots to eat, lots to drink. It is a giant terminal, so there's a lot to see and a lot to do. You can go upstairs here, you can enjoy the main terminal. There's so much to see. There are 3 other buildings attached to Grand Central. There are many levels, there's little secret hallways. We're going to get into that in a future video. But one thing New York is good at, even down in the brand new Long Island Railroad, which you catch downstairs in Grand Central to head out to Long Island, they entertain you all along the way. But the big question that tends to be on everybody's mind when they ask me questions is, why don't I just drive? Well, here's a map of the area, and I guarantee you that it gets congested, complicated, and it can be a very long trip. If you take the ferry across Long Island Sound with your car, it's automatically a $152 round trip, more with extra passengers. If you drive around, then you get into the I-95, going through parts of New York City, going back out onto Long Island, and the drive there, everything included, will cost you at least $134 just for your driving and stuff, and it's 126 miles. And don't forget, when you go to Fire Island, the only place you can drive your car is on the west end, across the bridge at the National Seashore. So this is a lot of the reason why I like to take the mass transit. Now when I took this trip, I took a bus, 2 Metro North trains, 4 Long Island Railroad trains, the Fire Island Ferry, the Fire Island water taxi to make my trip to this lighthouse, and it cost me $100.50. As you can see, Fire Island off the South Shore there is 32 miles long, so you don't want to just visit the west end of the island where there's a beach and the lighthouse. You want to see more. So I went down, I caught the Long Island Railroad, and I went out first to this little bird here, which is Massapequa Park. Now it costs at least $400 to stay on Fire Island. So another thing for us budget travelers is, for less than half the price, I stayed in this beautiful little town right where the railroad comes along. It was walking distance to my hotel, and it was a lovely place, and I really enjoyed it. It was a little Best Western, and I've got to say it was great. Hello. This is my hotel room in Massapequa Park. Lovely, isn't it? All of the lights, I love this. They all have their own separate switch. Everything works separately. Got a nice bed there. Still got a desk and a chair with a lamp. I've got a little coffee maker. I've got a mini fridge. I've got beautiful sailing pictures. Check that out. Absolutely wonderful. Got my TV and remote. I'm already on the Wi-Fi. Got a great mirror over here. Use that. Look here, we've got a very spacious cabinet. Got an ironing board and everything in here. Hangers. Rack for my luggage, probably be using that. I'm only here a couple of nights. Here is the bathroom, sink, towels, supplies, soap, shampoo, nice adjustable shower light in the shower, fan to defog the bathroom, kind of liking that, won't lie. Really, really nice. Didn't pay a whole lot of money. This is walking distance from the train station. I've come out here to go over to Fire Island and look at the lighthouse. That's my odyssey this week. So the next morning, I took off and I took that $13 each way ferry out to Ocean Beach on Fire Island. Ocean Beach is the hub out there. It was a lot of fun. It was a beautiful place, but once again, you don't drive there. So if you're driving out to Fire Island, there's really no purpose. Then I took the water taxi down to the lighthouse. Now the maximum you can pay each way on this water taxi is $21. It cost me $17, I believe it was, to go down to the lighthouse and back. So one thing that you get when you take mass transit versus driving is you don't have to worry about anything. You're not paying tolls. You're not getting in a car accident. You're not getting a ticket. You're not getting lost. You're not getting anything. You have time to enjoy the view, sit back and relax, and it really, really makes for a great trip. This is why I like to travel this way. Now, I've been traveling my entire life. I've been over a great portion of this world, and I didn't become a travel expert or a budget travel expert very easily. It took a lot of time. Every trip I take does take research, and that is just how it is. But do you enjoy yourself? Do you have a great time? You really do, and this was one of these fantastic trips. There will be more in the future that I will cover with you on how I go, where I stay, and what I do. Now, after I visited Fire Island, it was time to head back, which is always a melancholy moment, but I love these trips. So don't be afraid to travel alone. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, jump on a train, and go somewhere. You just can't beat it. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you will join me again in the future on Adventures for Anyone. Hi, I'm Terry. Thank you for joining me today on Adventures for Anyone, and join me again in the future, and like and subscribe if you like what you see here. And I can teach you where to go in the Northeast, how to have fun, and how to travel the way I do, which is as a budget traveler. Thank you again. Have a great day.